Let's talk about success. What if I told you that pretty much everything you think you know about it is wrong? Today, we're diving deep into Malcolm Gladwell's incredible book, Outliers. And trust me, it's going to completely change how you see the path to greatness.
You know the story, right? We all do. It's the brilliant mind toiling away in a garage, just fueled by a dream and a whole lot of caffeine, who then single-handedly changes the entire world. We picture someone like Bill Gates, right? The ultimate icon of the self-made hero. It's an amazing story, it's super inspiring, but is it actually true?
But what if that whole powerful narrative is, well, just a story, a myth even, one that's hiding a much more complex and, frankly, way more interesting reality? Gladwell basically argues that we're so obsessed with the idea of the lone genius that we've become completely blind to the hidden forces that are really at play.
So, to pull back the curtain and see what's really going on, we're going to have to put on our detective hats. And our very first clue? It's in a place you would probably never expect. The world of professional hockey, where there's a pattern so strange it almost seems impossible.
Okay, so take a look at this. This chart shows the birth months of the best Canadian hockey players, and it is bizarre. I mean, look at that. A massive number of them are born in January, February, or March. So what's the deal? Are babies born in the winter just naturally better skaters? The real answer, believe me, is a lot cooler than astrology. The secret isn't written in the stars. It's written on the calendar. See, the cutoff date for almost all youth hockey leagues in Canada is January 1st. That means a kid born on January 2nd is playing in the same league as a kid born on December 30th. At age 9 or 10, that 10 or 11-month age gap is huge. The older kids are just plain bigger and more coordinated. So they get picked for the elite teams, they get the best coaches, and they're put on the fast track to success, all because of a fluke of their birthday. This is a perfect textbook example of something called the Matthew effect. It's this idea that advantage builds on itself. The rich get richer, you know? That one tiny initial advantage, being one of the oldest kids in the group, it just snowballs. You get better coaching, which leads to more ice time, which means you get more practice, which makes you a better player, which gets you even more opportunities. It's a feedback loop. These players don't start as outliers, the system turns them into outliers. And this isn't just about hockey, you guys. These kinds of hidden rules and advantages are literally everywhere you look. But let's say you get that initial leg up, what then? Well, the next piece of the success puzzle isn't just about getting a head start. It's about what you do with that time. It's about the hours.
10,000 hours. You've probably heard this number before, right? It's become legendary. It's supposedly the magic number of practice it takes to achieve true world-class expertise in pretty much anything. But it's more than just a number. It's a story about commitment and, more importantly, about opportunity.
So, this whole idea came from a fascinating study of violin students in Berlin. They found that the students who were destined for solo careers, the superstars, had all put in around 10,000 hours of practice by the time they were 20. The merely good students, they had about 8,000. The takeaway is pretty clear. Raw talent is great, it gets you into the game, but it's the sheer volume of practice that turns you into a master.
But here's the massive catch. You can't just wake up one day and decide to practice for 10,000 hours. You have to have the opportunity to do it. Even Bill Gates, a guy we think of as a pure genius, said it himself, "I was very lucky." His brilliance was a huge part of it, for sure, but it was a wild series of fortunate events that let him get his 10,000 hours in way before almost anyone else on the planet.
I mean, just think about the sheer luck involved. In 1968, his private high school got a super advanced computer terminal. That was almost unheard of back then. Then he got access to even more powerful computers at a local university. And here's the kicker. He found a glitch in the system that let him have unlimited, free computer time, usually in the middle of the night. It was the perfect storm of luck and opportunity that nobody else had.
So we've seen how these hidden advantages and incredible opportunities can totally shape a person's destiny. But there's one more ingredient, and you could argue it's the most powerful one of all. It's our cultural legacy. It's the invisible programming we get from our families and our communities that guides our every move.
To really get the power of culture, Gladwell tells the story of two absolute geniuses. Both of them had IQs that were literally off the charts. So why did one of them go on to change the world, while the other one just kind of faded away?
On one hand, you've got Chris Langan. The guy has an estimated IQ of 195, but he grew up in brutal poverty and chaos. On the other hand, there's Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, who was raised in a wealthy, highly educated New York family. Langan was brilliant, no doubt, but he never learned how to navigate the systems of power. Oppenheimer, though, was a master at it. Get this, he once tried to poison his tutor in college and somehow talked his way out of being expelled. He knew how to work the system.
The difference between them wasn't raw brain power, it was what Gladwell calls practical intelligence. It's basically social savvy. It's knowing how to talk to authority figures, how to negotiate, how to get what you want out of the world. It's a set of skills, and you learn them from your environment. Oppenheimer was taught this stuff from the day he was born. Langan never got the chance. And that's the whole point. Genius isn't enough. You need the tools to make it useful.
All right, so let's put all the pieces together. You've got hidden advantages, you've got the 10,000-hour rule, and you've got the power of your cultural legacy. When you mix all that together, a totally new picture of success starts to form. It's not about the lone genius anymore. It's about the world that creates the genius.
Gladwell uses this beautiful metaphor to tie it all together. He says the tallest oak in the forest isn't just the one that grew from the best acorn. It's also the one that happened to sprout in a spot with perfect sunlight, where the soil was rich, and where it was lucky enough to never get chopped down. See, success isn't a solo performance. It's a product of its entire environment. It's a gift.
So the real story of success, the one we don't usually tell, is this incredible mix of hidden advantages we don't earn, extraordinary opportunities that fall on our laps, and the cultural legacies that teach us how to navigate the world. It's less about what's inside of us and so much more about what's around us.
And that leads us to the biggest, most important question of all. If success truly is a gift from our world, our time, and our culture, then we have to ask ourselves, who are the people we aren't giving that gift to? Who are the potential geniuses out there whose sunlight is being blocked? And what can we do to build a forest where every single acorn has a real chance to grow into a mighty oak?